Good morning, everyone. Just thought I'd bring you a Bitcoin video today after we've had such bullish price action just recently. So here we have a Bitcoin chart on the daily time frame. These Fibonacci lines, these black lines on here, are from the weekly chart. So they're the ones from the big scale zoom out from the December 2017 highs of 19,800 to the December 2018 lows. And they have been the big high and low in the markets, everything else in between. So we'll work from those Fibonacci levels because they have been really key. When Bitcoin broke 13,340 and closed daily candles above this, that was a hugely bullish sign because, as you can see, on the 21st of October, Bitcoin attempted to scale that level and it's tried. But since then, it's been in that zone just below that golden ratio of 61.8%. And on the 22nd, the 23rd, the 24th, the 25th, 26th, 27th, 28th, 29th, it took until the 29th of October, the 30th of October, for Bitcoin to break through and close above that level. Bitcoin closed at 13,562. The following day, again, another closing at 13,816 on the 31st of October. Again, more closes above that level, coming down to test it for support. Another very strong sign there, where Bitcoin came down and tested support on the 2nd of November. Of course, it did it did also on the after it closed on the 30th. It did, and then on the 31st. The 1st of November was a nothing day. Nothing really happened. Was that at the weekend? I think that was probably a weekend day. Typical weekend flag. Nothing really happening. Bitcoin opened on the 1st of November at 13,799 and closed at 13,762. So closed very close. And it had a high of 13,907 and a low of 13,629. That's a very not much price action, so it's not really volatile. It's just coasted there for a day. Then on the 2nd, Bitcoin came down to test that 61.8, where it had a low of 13,220, so it dipped below it a little bit, come back up and closed the day at 13,563. That was very bullish again, to be closing the candle above that golden ratio. And then a bullish day on the 3rd of November from an open of 13,578 with highs of 14,083 and closing at 14,041. Closing above 14k has sparked a big rally. We had a not much going on day on the 4th of November, just maintaining and closing again over 14k, coming back down to test that 618 ratio. Then on the 5th of November, yesterday, we have the big candle. We could call that a Marabuthu candle. And for that reason, I want to say that any pullback, we need to be looking at the 50% of that candle. So any pullback, so we had yesterday's candle. Now half of that candle, halfway up of that candle. So it's, look, I can do it almost by eye, but I will do it accurately in a second. It looks to be about 14,849. If Bitcoin uses 14,849 as support and strong support, so it comes down and tests that level but stays above it, that's another incredibly bullish sign, because it's always half of a bullish candle, a Marabuthu candle. That means that that is a key level now, the test of that candle. Bitcoin may just keep going up today, but it would be actually healthy for Bitcoin to come down and test. Right, measuring half of that candle. 14,895. 14,876 actually. Hang on, let me zoom this in because I want this to be accurate. All we need is just 50% of that candle. See, I'm not accurate at all with this. So it's body to body I'm doing because it's a Marabuthu candle. So it's not wick to wick. And there's hardly much wick to notice anyway. Just want half of that candle. So 14,887. If Bitcoin comes down from here, from where it is now, it's been up to 15,968. It's currently trading at 15,681. If Bitcoin comes down, tests 14,887, bounces up and goes higher, that's a bullish sign. That's a sign that we're probably going to get more upward price action, possibly all the way up to the 786 Fibonacci, which is my next point really, because that is the key level that I'm looking to taking some off the table. Bitcoin, that is. I think that it could happen now. It could be that now, look, we're producing a spinning top candle at the moment. The spinning top candle is where the body of the candle is very small and the wick at the top is long and the wick at the bottom is long, of similar length. That's a spinning top candle. A spinning top candle means indecision. There's indecision in the market. And after a huge stellar rally like this, it's not surprising to see a spinning top candle. You see them often after a huge move either way. You'll see an indecisive day where there's buyers and sellers in the market. This 786 Fibonacci level is a key level because Bitcoin comes up, tests this, and gets through this. We're really looking at something incredible in Bitcoin. We're looking at, it could come up, Bitcoin could come up, test it, and be resistance for a few days. But if Bitcoin stays strong around that area, around halfway of that candle, above 14,887, and comes down, tests that for support, and then goes back up searching to get through that 786 fib, well, then it could go to all-time highs. Certainly this year. Ellie, come on. Sorry, that's my cat. My cat's been in a fight. Oh, my cat's been fighting. Did you hear that? Ellie, come on. There she is. So there's Ellie. And so, yeah, it could face a massive rejection here, this 786 fib. Like Bitcoin could come up, test it, and then blow off top, come down way down below here. Let's have a look at some of the numbers down below that would be of interest. Obviously, the 618 fib from the last one, from the big time frame, 618 fib. If Bitcoin stays above that, now if Bitcoin uses that as strong support, again, that's hugely, hugely bullish because we're starting to get volume in the candles. The volume in the buy candles are starting to be quite bullish when you zoom out a little bit and you look to see the daily volume candles, we're starting to look very bullish. And the path of least resistance is firmly to the upside. Look, we've got all the daily moving average candles pointing in the right direction. They're all lined up how they are in a bull market. Now, I'm not saying that we're not going to come back down and test the mean. That would be ideal, really, for Bitcoin to come back down now, test the mean. The mean is the moving averages. So there you have there the first moving average lined up for you, the 20, the 50, the 100 and the 200. So I think, it would be healthy for Bitcoin to come down. Whether it could come down and test the 100 moving average. The 100 moving average is ignored by so many people. But just look here, right? Those that leave the 100 moving average out, you're bonkers. Look, because Bitcoin came down here on the 3rd of September. It's moved along the 100 moving average perfectly for over a month. Bitcoin used that as support for over a month. That's incredible. Yeah, and people disregard the 100 moving average. Look at it. It's used it as support. Only it. It rocked along it there. Came back down, tested it there. It's you. That is the support that it's used. 100. So whether Bitcoin might come down and test that 100, which would be the Fib 50 as well, that wouldn't be a bad sign. That wouldn't be a bad sign. Let's look at the all-important, the most important weekly moving average throughout Bitcoin's history. By far the most important. Because it's the one yesterday I was on a video and it didn't record the video, and I was telling about the 21 weekly moving average. Right, we've got the 21 week EMA that I want to show you because it's the key moving average. It's the one. It's the one ahead of all the others that in a bullish trend, every pullback should come down and test the 21 week moving average. Right. It's the EMA as well. It's the EMA that I want. Not the moving average, the EMA. Sorry about this. Right, moving average exponential. And I want the 21 week EMA. It's such a key one. I recorded a long video yesterday on Facebook, and unfortunately the sound was gone. And it was some key things about this. Right, so we've got the 21 week EMA. I can get rid. I'd like to keep the 21 week normal. It will be similar. It will be a similar level, but keep that as a 20 because I like to use that on other financial assets. It's perfect. So we have the 21 week EMA. It's very close to that one. Look, it's just a little bit. So the 21 week EMA at the moment is that line there, and that is lining up that's exactly at the Fib 50. So yeah, a pullback now to 11,386. What a confluence there. Can you see that, folks? That is an incredible confluence on a weekly time frame. So you're looking a weekly close, above 11,386. We remain uptrend as long as Bitcoin closes the weekly candle above 11,386. That's the key figure, because not only is it the Fib 50, which is hugely influential, it's also the 21 week EMA. So that is the key level in Bitcoin at the moment, 11,386. Any closes above that level on a weekly time frame, we remain in a bull market with the path of least resistance to the upside. Yeah, there's nothing stopping us on the upside apart from that 786 fib, which we've nearly tested now. But like I say, the path of least resistance is firmly to the upside. Let's have a quick look at Ethereum. Now let's have a look at Bitcoin on an hourly chart. Let's do that on an hourly chart. These are important, the moving averages as well. And look, we're above them all. We're above all of the moving averages. I'll tell you what, I'm going to knock that into a 20. Knock that into a 20. And then you got the EMA, the 20 EMA. I'd prefer that than the 20 regular. So yeah, above that, look, it's above it. So it remains incredibly bullish on a shorter time frame too, with all the moving averages lining up at the right level. The path of least resistance remains firmly to the upside. And yeah, if Bitcoin comes down and tests this 20 hour moving average and bounces off it, day traders, good time to buy. Because look, came down here for support, tested it at 6 o'clock last evening, came down from, opened it at 15,058, and then came down, tested it at 14,670, and went on to close the candle nearly at 15k again, 14,959. So that was a bullish sign, and then we had a bullish candle following it, an indecisive candle, and then bullish candles at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. And really, that pattern there suggests that Bitcoin could be going up again on the hourly chart. We could have another 2 green candles, because where we've had the 3 pullback, that's a classic pattern. So Bitcoin could come down. We could be making new highs now. From the highs we made at 1 a.m., where highs were 15,968, between 12 and midnight, 12 and 1 a.m., we got to 15,959, and then we just, in the opening, around 1 a.m. UK time, Bitcoin made a high, the highest it's been since January. It might be since December, actually, 2017. So I'm thinking, let's have a look at that, actually, because it'd be good to look left on a zoom out chart. So let's get the weekly on. So that one's bullish, like I say, and in all honesty, I think that Bitcoin could go on and test that high again in the next few hours, that 15,968. So let's have a look at this zoomed out and the old highs, with the old highs from way back December 2017. So there, look, that has hit upon an interesting level. You see there, see the cursor there, I'm back in, so this is back in 2017. So what dates that? Because I'm in the way there. The 1st of January, the candle, that weekly candle, got to highs of 17,234, but closed it at 16,124. So that's a little bit higher than it is now, but not by much. And then the following candle, the following week, the 8th of January, Bitcoin was 8th of January 2018. Bitcoin was, it closed at 13,647. This was on the way back down. So you're looking at the 8th of January, the week of the 8th of January to the 15th is the last time Bitcoin was at these levels, 2018. That was when it was overvalued, and it had a run up for 2 years. It run up and it was overvalued. And look at how long it's taken. Look at all the stuff we've been through since then with this incredible invention. We've been down to these lows, and then we had a rally last year. It was a fake out, lots of selling pressure, high wicks. We came back down, we went sideways. We began what I thought was a rally and a bull market in January into February, and then we had COVID, back down again, and then brilliant trading months from March, well, really from here. So from Q2, again, Q2 was huge. Look at how much it went up in Q2. It stalled a bit in June. So Q2 ended on well, not really. Q2 was a marvellous quarter again. We had a bit of sideways in Q3, and then we had upwards again in Q3, and then down in Q3, and now Q4. Q4 is just incredible. It's very seasonality, but Q4, look at it, quarter 4, it's just incredible, this quarter 4. And I picked it because quarter 4 last year was unimpressive, and it was unimpressive, obviously, in this time, 18. So if you go back, look at the cursor, if you go back to 2018, very bearish again last year. And I just knew that this year, Q4 was setting up for huge price action, and I wasn't wrong.